you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Just thought I'd check in with you real quick here. Got a lot to tell you, but don't know how much I'm actually going to tell you, but here we go. Basically, I spoke to somebody just now for several hours, and she is a retired circuit court judge, and needless to say, she was quite perplexed by the city of Wayne and their antics in these cases. And as I've stated before, this is a fight of good versus evil, and what I discussed with this judge was brain shattering, to be honest with you. It confirmed everything I already knew, but it also educated me beyond belief. So, that's one of the reasons I love this job. I love working for Lyft, is you never know who you're going to pick up. You never know who you're going to run into. And this woman is very experienced, and she's taken a liking to our case. So our cases, rather. So we're going to be we're going to be fighting it to the very end. I'll tell you that. But I suspect that I'm going to have more help now. So a lot more help. Help's coming, in other words. That's what she assured me. And if she can't personally help, she's going to see it that the right people come my way, let's say. So I'm in good hands now, thank God. I don't want to reveal this person, but I'll just call her Beatrice. I'll call her Judge Beatrice. Field artillery is coming, so it's a time to be alive, I'll say that. But we discussed a lot of different things. We had a very intellectual conversation, and this person's Ivy League educated, and the whole 9 yards, and honestly one of the most accomplished people I've ever interacted with, and just a wonderful person. And I think this is the breakthrough that we were looking for. So a lot of good things have happened this week, and the message of Jesus Christ lives on, and always seek the truth, because good things will happen. The truth is all that's important, and the law is supposed to be grounded in the truth. That's what the law is supposed to be. And when you can't try facts, right, like you need to, well, then you cease to have a republic or a democracy, whichever you believe we are living under. But my case really exposes so many chinks in the armor. But yeah, we have to file with the circuit court tomorrow. A stay. A lot of things we need to do. But yeah, we still got time, barely, but we got time, and by the grace of God, we're gonna get the circuit court motions submitted in a timely fashion. Yeah, we have a couple motions we got to file with the district court, and then we're going to be filing a motion with the circuit court. And I know it's not going to be safe for me to likely live in Wayne, or possibly even in the state of Michigan. You know, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to the very end, to the bitter end, and there's no half measures here. You know, I'm completely committed, and I know that they're going to try to kill me. I know they've been plotting to. I can feel it. I can sense it. I just know it. I can feel it. I can sense it. And I just know it. And, you know, it's been confirmed, right? It's been confirmed what I needed to know. And, it's a bitter pill to swallow, right? Knowing that, you know, these people are trying to kill you, and you know, you're underreacting, if anything, and you know, somebody who's been a judge for a long time, right? A very popular judge. And somebody, just like I said, when it comes to case law, legal doctrine, she is, you know, one of the best in this country. And, you know, I'm so fortunate to have ran into her tonight and to have had a, you know, literal 3-hour conversation. You know, a 20-minute ride to Southfield, Michigan turned into a 3-hour conversation, which turned into information being exchanged and stories being told, and, you know, intimacy, really. You know, not, you know, in a sexual way, but intimacy and, you know, a empathetic human-to-human connection. And, you know, we had a great conversation, shared many laughs and some tears as well, you know, just the state of our union, right? The state of affairs. And yeah, I bring it to you guys here first, right? So we're going to be, of course, documenting our journey here, and we're going to be bringing the message to the masses, right? And of course, the masses are asses, as the Logic Junkie once famously said. The masses are asses. And you know, I understand that there's a lot of people that aren't going to understand me, and they're going to use any pejorative, defamatory thing they can, any low-hanging fruit they can, to try to discredit me and to call me crazy and whatever else. And you know, I don't know. I mean, crazy, that's a very subjective word. You know, crazy is like, you know, you don't really know what's going on, right? Which I don't think that could be plausibly alleged, you know, or levied against me. You know, I clearly know a thing or two, and I clearly have an interest, and you know, I've seemed to have attracted, you know, the city of Wayne has seemed to, you know, really kind of expose themselves to me in such a manner that, you know, I couldn't help but notice all of their unconstitutional conduct. And you know, like I said, it's my civic duty to speak out against it. And Jesus Christ has greater things for me than the city of Wayne. And you know, we're not done in the city of Wayne. We have a lot of unfinished business, and a lot of things that we have to accomplish still yet. And once we achieve that, we're going to be taking a hiatus as a family. You know, the stress quite literally is killing us. The stress of having to deal with, you know, lawsuits, and, you know, actually doing the lawsuits yourself, and it's just some wild shit, you know, some wild shit. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. You know, I know I act like a hard ass and talk shit and bullshit and say ridiculous stuff sometimes, but on a serious note, this stuff is it's traumatizing. And I'm going to take the city of Wayne's advice, and I'm going to seek myself into treatment for mental health. You know, I've been in mental health treatment for a number of years. For PTSD mainly, but you know, this experience that I've had to endure, and my family has had to endure, you know, it's taken its toll for sure. So, you know, we're going to be looking at some sort of outpatient, preferably outpatient treatment of some sort, you know, but every option's on the table. You know, I'm not drinking. This isn't like, you know, I'm going to rehab or anything. Definitely not. But, you know, I just it's, you know, trauma overload, right? Dealing with the city of Wayne and their antics the last couple of years, and especially the last year, right, from May 9th till today. And it's a shocking turn of events. So obviously I'm not a lawyer, although I did have a conversation with a highly educated attorney and, you know, judge, and yeah, we're both in in agreement, right? We're both in crystal clear agreement. We couldn't have been more in agreement, right? It's almost hard to believe. But yeah, God put her in my life tonight to take this shit head on and win for the right reasons, right? Which are to set the record straight for the people of this country, and to vindicate my name and my family's name, right? Because we've been just ran through the ringer. Like I said, over 90 days in jail, months of house arrest, banished from my house, gag order, no any city workers, ambiguous bond conditions, ambiguous language throughout everything. Normal course of business, right? The city describes warrantless entry into curtilage to enforce non-codified policies as a normal course of business, and it's insane. I mean, the whole thing's insane, and we talked at great lengths about these cases, and she's in agreement that this is quite literally the most insane case maybe in Wayne County history, honestly. City of Wayne history for sure, but possibly Wayne County history, and possibly even the state of Michigan and the United States history. It seems to be it's gearing up to that level. And the city of Wayne has been asking for it, and so they're going to get it. They're going to get exactly what they've been asking for, which is my undivided attention and my impetuous and resilient and resistant and Teflon nature, right? They're going to get everything that I have. The soldier in me is going to rise to the occasion, and I'm going to give it my damnest to let freedom ring and to set the record straight. But only you can prevent forest fires. Only you can prevent them, guys. And where there's smoke, usually there's fire, but in my case, sometimes there's just a smoldering log pile enclosed with a metal ring that the city of Wayne approved in September 2020 with a certificate of occupancy. And city approved fire pit later became a hazard and a nuisance, and that became a Fourth Amendment violation, and that became an open burn policy and a non-codified ordinance, and phantom ordinances 1278, 1278.07, and that turned into interfering, right? Because I was roaming in my yard and I wouldn't extinguish a fire pit with my garden hose, and I was violating an open burn policy that was never codified into law, and I wasn't complying with some unlawful order, unlawful demand. I was arrested because of what I might do, so that was interference because of what I might do, right? And did I ever interfere or prevent anyone from ever extinguishing the fire pit? I did not. I never once got in anybody's way. I never touched anybody. I never assaulted anybody. I simply asserted my rights verbally, and really tried to display to the world that it definitely was not an exigent circumstance, and there was no consent given. There was no exigency. There was not even legally a possibility of probable cause, and it's the chief evil against the Fourth Amendment is what it is. And intentional infliction of emotional distress, and malicious prosecution, and vindictive prosecution, and retaliatory prosecution, and selective prosecution, and cruel and unusual punishment, false imprisonment, illegal detainment, false arrest. I mean, I could go on and on, but that's about it. Including but not limited to all of those just stated. That's what this all turned into, and then it's led up to a Michigan Tax Tribunal case where the city of Wayne is quite literally trying to retroactively, unlawfully steal my property from me and prevent me from running for office. So, falsely claiming I'm in arrears to the city by the tune of $12,000 or more, $14,000, something like that. So, it's never been a case like it. Never been a case like it. And, of course I have to, they're trying to paint me as a crazy veteran with PTSD or whatever. And, that's their prerogative. And, even though on the record they've called me extremely intelligent and very smart, but, they're going to try to, of course, call me crazy and discredit me. And, dealing with this level of constitutional infirm activity that the city of Wayne has bestowed upon me has definitely led to its challenges of, physical and mental challenges, and every challenge imaginable. I mean, it's the ultimate deprivation of my liberties, essentially all of my liberties. And the people of this country get to decide. If I was acting unreasonable, or if I was just like any other person in this country, trying to make it, trying to survive, trying to have some temporary enjoyment, temporary peace, temporary serenity and tranquility, and I'm glad that you guys get to decide that. And I'm a lot of things, and I've committed a lot of sins in my life. And I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, and things that I wish I could do over, but I really do care. I really do care. I hope the record gets set straight and the truth sets us all free. And at least sets me and my family free. Because my military family that sacrificed so much for this country deserves it. And a precedent needs to be set for future cases and future case law, and for humanity, for this country. There's some constitutional questions that need to be addressed and answered that this case is uniquely qualified to address. And I'm willing to cooperate and act in good faith in accordance to whatever obligation that the court or God bestows upon me. And I appreciate your guys' time very much. Thank you.